Hey, what is up guys? So if you follow my Facebook page, earlier in the week I posted that I was going to be doing a Q&A video on the channel, and I left it open for you guys to ask me anything you want. It could be BMW related, YouTube related, or just personal questions for me. So today I'm going to try to answer those, and let's get right into it. Alright, so the first question is, if you had the money to buy any BMW, which would it be and why? Well, I really like the BMW i8. There's a guy that I follow on Instagram who has one with air suspension and some really nice wheels. I'll put a picture of it. And I really like those, but as far as what I would actually want to own long term, I would probably go with the current generation BMW M3. It's one of my favorite cars, probably my dream car right now. So yeah, that's probably what I would get, is the F80 M3. Will you get an M3 after this car if the channel gets big, or would you get something else? Yeah, like I said before, probably the M3 is what I would get. I'm not really the type of person like, oh, I only buy BMWs. You know, there's other cars out there that I like a lot. But the M3, you know, if I had the money, if I had $70,000 to spend on a car, the M3 is going to be my first choice for sure. Do you agree that the E90 is the most reliable BMW ever built? Without question, it is definitely a reliable car. I've had mine for 3 years and I've had very few problems with it. No engine problems, no transmission problems, you know, knock on wood. But I think that they're great cars. As far as the most reliable that they've ever made, I think that some of the older ones, you know, before BMW had their whole plastic fetish where they want to build the whole engine out of plastic, I think prior to that they were probably more reliable. I made that video a while back, like 5 things that'll break on your BMW, and a lot of people commented like, oh, that would never happen on an E30, or people said I've had my E46 for 15 years and I never had any of these issues. So who knows? I think probably some of the older ones are more reliable than the present day ones, but I think that as cars get more and more complicated and as they become more and more made out of plastic, the reliability will probably go down over time. Do you feel full adult now that you've moved out? Honestly, it's not that big of a difference. Pretty much since the time that I was a teenager, when I first started working, I've been paying all my own bills and buying my own food and stuff, so that's not really a big change. The biggest difference, honestly, is just sharing a space with my fiance, and we've actually been dating for 6 years, but you really don't know a person until you have to share a 1-bedroom apartment with them, and I've probably learned more about her in the past 2 weeks than probably the whole time that we've been dating. So that's definitely the biggest difference. I do kind of feel, you know, more responsible being here on my own, but it's not that big of a difference from when I was living with my parents. What is the best way to remove old Plastidip from a front grille? I actually did a video on how to remove Plastidip, so if it's dried out and you can't peel it anymore, there's a product called Dissolve It, which is citrus oil. Just spray that on there, let it sit for a couple minutes, and you should be able to just wipe it off with a cloth or a towel. What do you think about diesel engines in BMW? Honestly, I wish that I knew more about them. It's just that here in North America, diesel isn't really all that popular with cars. Your chances of seeing a diesel BMW on the road are probably less than seeing an M3. So yeah, I really wish that I knew more about them because of, you know, the fuel efficiency and everything that you get with diesel. So if anyone has a diesel BMW, maybe you can try to answer that. You know, what do you think about them? Do you like it? How does it compare to a gas BMW? It'd be interesting to know that. Have you considered any specific dashboard camera? It's actually something that I'm kind of researching right now. I don't really know much about dash cams, but I am kind of looking for one with the motion detect now that I'm living in this apartment. You know, it's not a bad area, but anytime that you have a parking lot full of cars and people just coming and going constantly, it would be nice to have that just in case something does happen. I have some evidence of it, and I think that that would be helpful. So if you guys have a recommendation for a dash cam, just please leave a comment below. I'd be interested to know that. How much do you make off YouTube? So I'm actually not allowed to disclose that. It's just YouTube's terms of use, but otherwise I'd have no problem telling you guys, and not in a bragging way, but more of like a motivational way, just because you can make some money on this website. And I will tell you though that as of last month, I actually make more money on YouTube than I do at my full-time job, which is pretty cool. And a lot of my friends have asked, like, when are you gonna quit your job and just do YouTube full-time? It probably won't be anytime soon, just because moving out was very expensive. Katie and I decided to pay cash for all of our furniture and our TV, so everything here in this apartment is all paid in full, but the problem is that I put a pretty big dent in our savings. So now having multiple incomes from both of our jobs, plus YouTube, plus the freelance work that she does, is really helping us to build up that savings account, and it really puts us in a position to start saving for a home, which is the next step for us. Obviously, we don't want to be renters forever because we don't have any equity in this place, but our long-term goal is to just save up and buy a house, and having all these sources of income definitely helps with that. Do you think naturally aspirated engines are the BMW engines, and have BMW sold their soul to the turbo gods in the interest of economy and power? They're definitely going more towards, efficiency and keeping up with regulations, so it's really unfortunate that cars like the E92 M3 and the E60 M5, BMW will probably never make really great naturally aspirated engines like those anymore, which is sad, but I think that there are a lot of benefits to turbocharged engines. The problem is, I just looked on their website today, all of the BMW 3 Series, as far as I can tell, are all turbocharged, and a lot of them are actually 4-cylinder turbos, so I was surprised. The 330i, which is the same model that I have, is now a 4-cylinder turbo, but it costs $40,000. So I think personally I would have a hard time justifying paying $40,000 for a car that's just a 4-cylinder, but that's just me. And if you want a 6-cylinder BMW, you have to go all the way up to the 340i, which is pushing $50,000. And at that point, you might as well just save up a little bit more and just buy an M3. Alright, this question is from my friend Taylor, who I went to high school with. He says, what are your best memories from our speech class video? So when we were in high school, we were required to take this public speaking class. It was like part of graduation, we had to take this class. And one of the projects is that we had to film a video commercial to play in class. This is like before YouTube. And so we got to pick our groups, but this kid that we didn't really like got stuck in our group. And so in the commercial, it was like a skateboarding video, and he had never stood on a skateboard a day in his life. And we had him drop in on my half pipe that I had at the time, and he just completely wiped out, and it was like the funniest thing ever. So we all had a good laugh about it. He was a good sport about it. So yeah, that was my best memory from that project. What hardware and software do you use to make your channel? I've actually done a full video about the camera that I use. It's a Canon 70D. I've got a couple different lenses for it, and I'm using a Rode LavLink microphone, which is a wireless lavalier, which is really nice. And I edit the videos on a Windows 10 PC. It's made by Main Gear, so the way that that works is you just pick out the parts and they put it all together for you, which is kind of nice since I don't really know too much about computer hardware. So there's that. The software that I use is Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects CC 2017, and I highly recommend it if you're getting into video. Premiere is probably the best editing software. What are some obstacles or difficulties with YouTube? Honestly, the hardest thing about YouTube is the negative comments, and I'm lucky that I don't really get that many on this channel, but it's just frustrating. Like when I look at my analytics and I see that 95% of the people who watch my videos are males 25 and older, I would just think that grown men would be able to compose themselves online, but I don't know, I guess everyone's raised a little bit differently. But then I look at some other channels like Vehicle Versions, and whether you like the guy or not, if you look at the comment section on any of his videos, it's just like a cesspool of negativity, and it's really sad that it has to be that way. We all put so much work and effort into our videos, and it only takes 5 seconds for someone to write a stupid comment, so just keep that in mind. We all work hard for this, we all love what we do, but the negative comments, they just have to stop. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I normally don't make videos that are this long, but there was just a lot of questions to get through, and I was really happy to go through and answer all of them for you guys. If you have any other questions that I didn't cover in the video, just leave a comment below and I'll be happy to get back with you. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.